We're talking Riverside Vikings football. Harry Armstrong with us. Coach, let's talk about it's July. It's that time of year we're all itching a little bit and getting ready for August. Before you know it, that season will run right through. But what's the work ethic been like for the Vikings in the offseason?
Well, this offseason, 2022 into 23, has been one of the best that I can recall in the last 20 years for us. We have a really tight group of seniors that have set the tone from that standpoint with the offseason workouts and the commitment standpoint, and the benefits from beginning have been outstanding. We've really made a tremendous amount of progress, and we have a great strength and conditioning coach, Charlie Grande, who was a longtime coach at Lackawanna College. He helps head our program with that, and our schools put a ton of support into our facilities as well. So our guys are really training like college athletes right now. So we're excited to see what we can do with it.
That stadium of yours is that's still one of the few. You got a good, nice row of bleachers there. You got that great feeling there playing right near the road. It's a neat atmosphere playing at Riverside.
To say the least, cozy. Like, it's right in there. It's like you're tucked in. So I mean, turn around and somebody can grab you. You're that close on the sideline. So from a fan's perspective, it's great because you're right there. You would be watching normally where players are standing. You're that close on the field. So for the players, having the fans right on top of you like that, it's a different feeling too. And I think this year we're going to get a chance to pack it in and hopefully fill up that stadium again like we used to.
You're always an offensive-minded guy, quarterback mind, all that stuff. Do you adapt it all with the personnel you have and say, hey, we're running the football this year? Or you're pretty much like, hey, we're going to just put our athletes in space and let them make some plays.
Well, we're going to have some unique opportunities this year because we have a variety of strong points for us. Starting up front, and some of the guys here today are some of our linemen, and we have some guys with some great experience and some players that started off playing some skill positions, worked their way into linemen, and it really gives us different opportunities in how we want to do things. And it sort of plays into, yes, we can use those guys out in space, great in the pass game, but this year more than other years, I think we're going to be able to be very physical up front, control the line of scrimmage. So when push comes to shove and we need those tough couple of yards, I think we have a group we can rely on this year. And that goes on both sides. When we have to get that tough stop, last year was a tough season down the stretch. If we could have had 2 more victories at the end if we can just stop that run game a little bit better. And I think we're going to have the firepower to do it this year.
Talk about numbers. Small schools, It's difficult. It's challenging for you. Talk about it at big schools. Hey, we got 40 guys. We might be at 30 when it's all over. The game of football, we know that, we need to keep promoting it on that youth level to keep kids going. They're playing other sports and, life gets busy. They're working maybe in some of these families that might need that income. So let's talk about just trying to keep guys interested in football as Vikings.
That's a great subject to talk about because I think for every school and every program right now, that needs to be something at the top of your priority list. It's a different era as far as how things are going right now. And I mean, it's changed rapidly. It's almost like did a sharp turn with where it's going. We are certainly lower on the roster size. We're going to be in probably high 20s in that range. But out of that group, we started off, you asked about our commitment level. That's a very committed group within that. So our quality is going to be outstanding. Our quantity is not going to be there. But how we operate now, we have guys that are doing 2-fall sports. We've already had guys do that. So we have a template out, and we've had proven ways where we know how to juggle those challenges. And I'd like to estimate 75% of our roster is at least dual sport athletes. So those are certain things that smaller schools, to help battle the dropping numbers, is to work together and give players opportunities to play 2 sports in the same season. And we've had multiple guys do it. Last year we had a couple guys that were really getting it done. So we're going to continue with that. Yeah.
I love the open-mindedness that these schools say, hey, kid wants to do it, and they're committed, and they can do it. You work with the other coach.
Yeah.
We talk to somebody like a Rich Mendola. He's like, listen, we have to make sure this kid could be a linebacker. He could be a guard. He could be, fill in over at the wide receiver if we need him. I'm sure, guys like you're thinking about, we have guys that have to play multiple positions. Somebody goes down, hey, now you're the Z or you're this.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an important part with that. You hit the nail on the head there. So with an experienced team, you're going to have more opportunities to do that. And I think that's something that we're going to be able to bring to the table. And starting with our guys up front, they're ready to play guard or tackle and flip sides. Like, we've done stuff like that. So, we're not going to have it too deep on both sides. And some of our skill players, whether it be offense or defense, they play multiple roles within a game. Not just if somebody were to get injured or something were to happen, but sometimes our tailback plays fullback and our tailback will play tight end in different scenarios. And we have a versatile group of athletes that can excel at it too, and not just try to plug and place, but guys were using it as a weapon in that regards because of their versatility and experience.
You talk about, you being a Riverside Viking, these kids relating to you. Hey, I went through this program. We know that we're going to have small numbers, but this is what we need to do. You find that these kids are all in with this stuff as far as, hey, we want to go have a successful season. We want to work as hard as we could. We want to go out there and be as good as we could be this year and maybe, make a little run.
Well, I think talking about the buy-in with that, it's definitely an important part, and being able to have gone through it with some smaller teams. Going back to 2010, we're going way back now, but we had a 29-man roster, and that was one of the best teams to ever come out of this area. And I'm like, guys, we can work with this. And there's a lot of similarities with this team in regards to having versatile players, being stronger up front again, and having some experience coming back. So, like, the belief is there with that. So that helps with the buy-in. When guys say, okay, we can do this, teams can win with smaller numbers, they're going to be more likely to buy in with it. So that's always one of our top priorities too, because if without the buy-in part, it's going to be a struggle.
Let's talk about the leadership of this team. Who are those guys that are kind of carrying the torch here for Riverside this season?
Well, today, some of our leaders we have with us, we brought some of our guys up front. Chad Hoskins on the O-line and D-line, Zach Chillick on our O-line, D-line, Vincent Tank Scotty, another Falcon, and he's coming back from an injury this year too, so we're excited having him back. And Robbie Garvey, he's one of our versatile offensive players, running back, H-back, and defensively too, outside linebacker. He's even playing some corner for us this summer, and he'll rush the quarterback too. So those are our leaders we have with us here today. But we also have a great group of underclassmen coming up. Our quarterback, Chase Tadonio, was a first-year starter as a sophomore last year. He's one of our main guys. He's tremendously poised. Richie Kostoff will be a returning 3-year starter, and he's only going to be a junior, so we have some young leadership. And of course, some of the guys, Reese Gahan, he's been there for us. We're expecting a lot from him again this year. So I think that's going to be a strong point for us. Years previous, we've been looking at that. Where are our leaders asking? Now the question is who are our best leaders? So that's kind of, to see some guys competing for that too, is pretty cool.
Coach, always great to catch up with you, talk a little football, get ready for the 2023 season. Harry Armstrong, thanks.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.